On the surface, Charlottesville, Virginia felt untouchable. A picturesque college town where historic brick buildings met lively bars, where students roamed freely under streetlights, believing nothing truly bad could happen there. It was the kind of place parents trusted, the kind of place where danger felt distant. That illusion didn't last. In September of 2014, one young woman vanished into the night, and with her disappearance, Charlottesville's sense of security collapsed. What followed was a chilling investigation that would uncover a predator hiding in plain sight and leave a permanent scar on the community. This is the story of Hannah Graham. Hannah was only 18 years old, a second-year student at the University of Virginia with a bright future ahead of her. She was smart, driven, and known for her warm personality and unmistakable laugh. Friends saw her as adventurous and confident, someone who embraced life without hesitation. But one September night, Hannah disappeared. Friday, September 12, 2014, began like any other. After a long week of classes, Hannah set out to relax and enjoy the night. She attended a small gathering at a friend's apartment before heading toward Charlottesville's downtown pedestrian mall, a popular hotspot packed with bars, music, and late-night energy. She never made it home. At around 1 a.m., CCTV cameras captured Hannah walking alone. She was wearing a black crop top, dark pants, and white sneakers. The footage shows her moving unsteadily, likely after a night of drinking something her friends later said was out of character for her. As she wandered through the dimly lit streets, Hannah sent a text to a friend saying she was lost on her way home. That message would be the last anyone ever received from her. Police quickly began piecing together her movements, using dozens of CCTV cameras and private surveillance systems around downtown Charlottesville. Bit by bit, they traced her path, each camera capturing a glimpse of her final moments. At 12:55 a.m., Hannah was seen passing by a service station. A few minutes later, cameras at the downtown mall recorded her running past a bar, seemingly in a hurry. Witnesses later recalled her appearing disoriented. Then, the cameras caught something chilling. Around 1:06 a.m., Hannah encountered a man, later identified as Jesse Matthew. A tall, athletic man with dreadlocks, a local figure often seen in the nightlife scene. He was a former taxi driver known by many but trusted by few. The footage showed Matthew walking alongside Hannah. At one point, he's seen putting his arm around her shoulders as they head toward the shadows of the downtown mall. That moment, that single image, would become one of the last confirmed sightings of Hannah Graham alive. Minutes later, more cameras caught Matthew's car, a burnt orange Chrysler coupe, driving away from the area. And then, nothing. The search begins. When Hannah failed to return home the next morning, her friends immediately grew worried. They tried calling her phone, no answer. By Saturday evening, her parents had been notified. By Sunday, September 14, Hannah Graham was officially reported missing. The search that followed was unlike anything Charlottesville had seen before. Police, students, volunteers, and complete strangers poured into the streets and surrounding countryside, scouring fields, trails, riverbanks, and wooded areas day and night. Helicopters circled overhead while K-9 units and search teams pushed farther out with each passing hour. Every lead, no matter how small, was pursued as the clock kept ticking. Hannah's face soon became impossible to escape. Flyers covered storefront windows, street poles, campus bulletin boards, and bus stops. Vigils were held as the University of Virginia community came together in fear and hope, clinging to the belief that Hannah would be found alive and brought safely home.
Hannah Graham, where are you? We want you back where you belong. We love you more than you know, and we cannot wait to see you soon. Sending our infinite love, Lonnie, Katie, and your UVA family.
So did you know Hannah? Were you friends with her?
Well, Erin, I lived on her floor last year, but I didn't really have a close personal relationship with her, but I knew who she was.
How did you feel when you found out that she was missing?
It was shocking. This is such a big school, and no one really hears about this type of thing, and it was just really hit home because I actually knew who she was as well, which just really shocked me.
Investigators quickly turned to the CCTV footage. What they found gave them a timeline and a suspect, the man called Jesse Matthew. Jesse Matthew Jor was a 32-year-old hospital worker and former college football player. To many, he was friendly, charismatic, the kind of guy who would strike up a conversation with anyone. But to investigators, something didn't add up. Footage clearly showed him with Hannah. Witnesses confirmed he bought drinks at the same bar she entered shortly before vanishing. When detectives tracked him down for questioning, Matthew agreed to meet, but things quickly took a dark turn. During the interview, Matthew appeared nervous, evasive. He refused to answer several key questions, and before police could detain him for further questioning, he fled. His sudden disappearance turned him from a person of interest into the prime suspect in Hannah's case. A chilling connection. For nearly a week, authorities scoured the state searching for Jesse Matthew. Then, on September 24, he was captured in Texas, 1,300 miles away from Charlottesville. But what investigators uncovered next would shock everyone. DNA evidence collected from Matthew linked him not only to Hannah Graham's disappearance, but to another case from 2009, the murder of Morgan Harrington, another young woman who vanished from Charlottesville after attending a Metallica concert. Her remains were found months later on an abandoned farm. Authorities hunted Jesse Matthew for a week. On September 24, 2014, weeks later, on October 18, searchers found Hannah's remains in remote Albemarle County woods, 12 miles from downtown. Faced with overwhelming proofs, DNA, CCTV, and physical evidence, Matthew pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to 4 life terms without parole, bringing finality to the family's long pursuit of justice, while sparing Virginia the cost and trauma of a capital trial. For Hannah's parents, John and Sue, it was bittersweet.
Please, please, please help end this nightmare for all of us. Please help us to bring Hannah home. Somebody listening to me today either knows where Hannah is or knows someone who has that information. We appeal to you to come forward and tell us where Hannah can be found. John has already said that this is every parent's worst nightmare. That is true.
Hannah's death ignited nationwide campus talks on safety, trust, and hidden dangers. The silent witness, capturing her final steps, her encounter with Matthew, his car fleeing. Without it, he might never have been caught. Her family might lack closure. Technology and dogged investigators turned tragedy to truth. Hannah was more than a headline, a daughter, friend, aspiring doctor whose laughter echoed you via halls. Hannah Graham's story is a reminder that vigilance matters, and silence can be deadly. Years later, the same warning surfaced again in Philadelphia with the tragic loss of Kada Scott. Watch the Kada Scott case next, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help keep these stories alive.